Some of the big news coming out of hip-hop this week revolves around up-and-coming rapper Chet Hayes. If you're not familiar with Chet Hayes, his real name is Chet Hanks. That last name sounds familiar. It's because, yes, he is the son of Academy Award-winning actor Tom Hanks. The reason why he's making headlines is while promoting his music and other people's music, he used the N-word. He's like, check out my N-word here on Instagram and check out his album. Which a lot of people got on his case about, being like, look, you're a white guy, you're a white rapper, and you also grew up super rich. You grew up in Beverly Hills, have a private school education, you're set, you're good. You shouldn't really be saying that word ever, especially since there's a lot of connotations behind that word. Instead of taking a step back and being like, you're right, I apologize, I didn't mean any harm from it, but I realized that's not a word I should use. He actually defended his use of the N-word.
Under no circumstances would I ever go up to somebody that I didn't know and just be like, hey, what's up, my nigga? It's an unspoken thing between people who are friends who understand each other.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Hey, what's up, my nigga?
Houston, we have a problem.
So what do you think? Do you think that Chet is a racist and that's why he's saying this word? Do you think that he's not racist, but he shouldn't say the word? Or do you think that this is America, and even if you don't agree with it, he has the right freedom of speech and he can say whatever he wants to say? So let us know in the comments. The rapper Pusha T was in his hometown, Virginia Beach, last week, and he and a group of friends decided, let's go out, let's have some fun, let's spend some money. Heard this place is really good called Venue 112. Let's go there. So they went, waited in line. We're told they were not on the guest list, so they had to wait. So they waited in line. As they were waiting in line, they saw a bunch of white people get in, not even be checked to see if they're on the list or not. Just go in, and after about an hour, they were told, you can't get in tonight, we're at capacity. To which Pusha T was like, this is bull. We've been waiting here the entire time. No mention of a guest list for these other people. I think you're racist, and I think you're discriminating against us because we're black. So I decided to look into this. I did some research on Line, Google, Yelp. Everything sort of seems to be backing up Pusha T's claims. Like, they have reviews from like 3 years ago from like black and Hispanic people who were saying that they waited in line, were denied entrance, sometimes immediately, sometimes nope, you can't get in, sometimes kind of jerked along saying, oh, you have to wait in line because we're only on a guest list for tonight and you're not on the guest list. And while people would be waiting in line, they would see usually white people or Asian people get in before them.
I'm only allowed to let in 5% black people. He said that, 5%. That means if it's 25 people here, I get to let in 1.25 black people. So I gotta hope it's a black midget in the crowd.
So you're all probably familiar with fantasy football, fantasy baseball, fantasy basketball. But are you familiar with fantasy movies? I wasn't until I heard that Matthew Berry, who, if you don't know, is an ESPN fantasy guru when it comes to football, is launching a fantasy movie league in which you can try and make as much money with a hypothetical movie chain branch. Instead of being the GM or the coach, you'd be the owner of your own movie theater. Instead of drafting players to your team, you would be buying movies to be in your different screening rooms. The basis is that the movies all cost a certain amount of money based on how they performed at the box office previously. For example, San Andreas was the #1 movie in the world, so that would be the most expensive one right now. Movies that have stayed a little longer, about to end its run, or have underperformed at the box office would be less money. So the purpose is to buy these movies for your allotted budget and make as much money as you possibly can. So if you want to take a look at this, we got information for his league down below in the information. Man, there were so many great songs to choose from this week for Song of the Week. The song that I decided to go with is Lil Wayne, Glory.
This that shit they didn't want me on. I'm about to act a badonka-donk, Shimon. Don't need sugar, I need cream, I'm dark and strong.
Lil Wayne starts rapping like I remember him rapping, like a Millie Lil Wayne, the 6 foot, 7 foot. I haven't heard him rap like this since probably 6 foot, 7 foot. He's got all the crazy metaphors, punchlines that has made him famous that come from left field, and you're like, what, did he really say that? I'll admit a lot of the lines on paper seem very silly and stupid and elementary, but the way he delivers it with gusto and like it just, he makes it work. The movie that I saw this week was Entourage. In case you couldn't tell from that flawless Omarion impression, the movie I saw this week was Entourage, based on the hit HBO TV show. In case you're not familiar with it, it's Vince Chase and his buddies. Grew up in Queens, moved to LA to pursue their dreams. He hit it big. They all kind of mooch/work for him, and it's just a cool story about these buddies who are super close, hanging out, living the ultimate guy fantasy. The plot of this particular Entourage movie is Vince is the star and director of Ari Gold, his former agent. Ari Gold is now the head of the studio, and he picked Vince to be the star and director of this new movie, which is kind of problematic. It's way over budget, and no one has really seen a cut of the film yet. It's shrouded in mystery, so no one knows if it's any good at all. So they need to get more money from the financiers, played by Billy Bob Thornton, and his son, played by Haley Joel Osment. That's the main plot. There are other subplots. I really enjoyed this movie. It was super funny. I'm a big fan of the show to begin with. And I had reservations about how it was going to turn out. It started off a little slow, but once it found its like footing and established everything, the chemistry and the magic was still all there between all the characters. I give it 3 ticket stubs. I thought it was great. I think that you should grab your friends, especially if they're all Entourage fans. Grab them all, grab your entire entourage, and go see this movie, because you won't regret it. Guys, thanks again for tuning in. I'm having so much fun bringing you guys hip-hop and movie news. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave comments below. Let us know what you think. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And keep sending in those 15-second submissions. That's Patrick and my favorite thing to do, is watch all the great talent for the 15-second movie reenactment scenes and the 15-second freestyles. We love showcasing your ability and your talent. So this week, the 15-second scene reenactment and freestyle comes from Jessaray 2 and Bad News 503. Till next week, I'm Vince Eustace. Have a good one.
What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? God damn it. What do you want?
I'm on a Knicks kick back in 9-6 when I was just a kid, then obsessed with Buck Williams, LJ in his prime, Ewing still at the 5, and Opie there to deny, and he back with the win inside. Shout out to Spike Lee, those were the good times.